How's it going, fam? Welcome back to Erica's EDC, and today we are doing some more testing. You are at work with me right now, and you are actually propped up on a dryer, okay? On the knob, because I don't have a tripod. So we are really winging it here again. So we've got the knife. I said on my last video, excuse me, that I was going to bring this to work with me with the edge that we put on it, which was, you know, the best we could do, right? Because there's a good amount of microchipping, but we tested the edge. It would cut paper, not cleanly by any means, but it would go through the paper, right? It had like an edge to work with the microchips, which I will explain at the end of the video. I will reiterate what happened with that in more depth, okay? We haven't used this. Like, I got to work. It's the edge that we did in that video together, okay? So you can see I haven't used it at all. And like I said, there's microchipping, which I will explain more in depth what happened, but that's the edge, okay? We're gonna cut up some cardboard on the floor here. At work, we actually have a room that's called the rubber room, and it's a rubber floor, so I'm not worried about cutting the cardboard working on the floor, because it should not like damage the edge at all by any means. It's a rubber squishy floor, okay? So we'll process some cardboard just like the first go around, but just so we can see what we're working with, I have some printer paper here, the same exact paper we used in the previous video. Okay, so you can see that the edge is sharp. For what's wrong with it, speaking about the microchipping, it's sharp, okay? I have to kind of, you know, go through the paper like that, because if I try to just push through, it's gonna get hung up on those microchips, right? See, like right there, that's where a chunk is taken out of the blade. So I can't just like push through with ease, because it's gonna get hung up. So I have to kind of like saw through almost, and then we're fine, okay? So let's do the cardboard, and then we'll do the same type of sawing through the same exact piece of paper and see how much more difficult it is, if it is difficult at all, okay? So I'm gonna lower you guys down. We don't have a tripod, so we're really just winging it here. I apologize. Now you're gonna be up against the dryer. Okay. So we just have a box here. It's small. This is a representation of me right here, this little trashy can. That's me. Let's process this box and then see how the edge does after. Okay, well, so far, it's kind of just, I don't know if it's gonna pick that up. It's like crunching. Yeah, see that little chunk of cardboard right there? It's actually just like kind of crunching it in. So let's try a different corner here. There we go. As long as I do a sawing motion, it kind of works. Also, this is a really, really thick blade stock with not a lot of room to thin out, so as you can see. Just a heads up. Yeah, that didn't even go through on one side. That's even if we're not testing edge retention right now and we're testing just toughness, I am curious to see what happens to this edge just cutting cardboard on a rubber squishy floor. Like, even edge retention aside, let's just see how the toughness does. And don't worry, it's not leaving any cuts on the floor or anything. I'm not pressing that hard. We're just gonna cut some stuff. Cut some stuff. But how is everyone's day? I hope you're having a great day. Today is my Friday, so that's fun. What are your plans for the weekend? Yeah, this is having a tricky time here. If I hold it at a certain angle, it helps, but the push cut thing is just not working too well. Sorry, I'm still getting over that dang flu. So even just documenting what I'm feeling as we work here, it definitely feels a little more like a wedge going through. Like, obviously this is not the best cardboard cutter because of how thick it is, right? This is, I mean, that's a really thick blade. So if you're someone who processes cardboard a lot, this is not going to be like your best friend. Definitely, I feel like if this knife did perform better and was in a better steel, this would be much more of almost like a farm knife. It's almost like a beater, because look at how thick it is, right? Like there's no, I don't know. What else are you going to do with that, right? Cut rope maybe and baling twine and bead on it, maybe. But then again, for $265, are you going to want to bead on something like that? I don't know. I really don't know where it fits yet. Still trying to figure that out. Yeah, it's really wanting to like just crush the cardboard a lot of the time. If I can't get that sawing motion going, yeah, that's not. I don't know. This one like speaks a different language, I think. All right, we'll finish this last piece and then let's see how it looks. God. Yeah, I can't, I don't know. It really doesn't want to go through. Like, just geometry-wise even, I'm talking. Ooh, okay, that one was not bad. Thanks. Oh, boy. I'll try to finish this one here. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not, literally not cutting it. Okay, so let's pick back up. Okay. Just gonna wipe it off on my pants real quick because there's some stickies. Glue residue, tape residue, whatever you want to call it. I just don't want that to interfere with the slicing of the paper. I'm just going to use my sleeve here real quick. Okay. It doesn't feel sticky anymore. So let's see if that did anything. So we still have to do the sawing motion. It doesn't feel like it's going through like it was before, and I know I had to saw to get through it before, but I'm just saying it just feels, so that's the cut we just did. the paper just, oh, is that picking up? Okay, so the paper just looks really fuzzy to me on the cut line, and I hope that I hope the lighting, you can see like the fibers almost. Maybe it's the same. This is a piece from earlier, I think. Maybe it's the same, I can't tell. I feel like it was going through a little easier before we cut the cardboard. But I'm not, it's just tricky in general, man. No, I think it was a hair easier at the beginning. This feels and sounds more terry. Yes, I just made up that word. Okay. So that was obviously an epic fail, right? Just gonna see if there's any edge damage from cutting on the floor. Okay, I feel my microchips from before we started this test, but nothing new. So that's good. Nothing new. So toughness-wise, nothing happened. Just not a good edge. Not a sharp edge. And a real thick geometry. So let's talk a little bit about what happened with the two sharpening progressions, okay? Because it's so hard to fit everything into one video, and people like nitpick. It's almost like they won't like use their brain. They like nitpick and like almost make things up and like make narratives that didn't happen, because I never said it didn't, but just a logical mind would know it didn't. So let's talk real quick. In my second sharpening video, the one that is up before this, I mentioned that I did a different sharpening progression than I did the first time sharpening this. So the first time I ever sharpened this, I did a 325 coarse DMT, and then I did a 600 fine DMT, and I left it at a working toothy edge, and it failed within 8 hours. Then on the next sharpening, which is the video before this one, we started at a 1200 grit extra fine DMT, and then we went to an ultra fine Spyderco stone, a ceramic stone. And then we stropped it a little bit on some raw leather. And I had mentioned in the video that on the extra fine grit 1200 DMT, the burr that came up on this immediately was very large. It was really large, and it felt like stable. And what I mean by stable is it was so prominent, right? Like the teeth were so in your face. It was like, it felt like a barbed wire fence. It felt like a fence. I would go like this on the side of the bevel, and it was just like grabbing my fingertips. That's what I meant by stable. Not stable as in a positive, happy, good thing. Like, whoa, that's a strong, sturdy, thick burr. Too big, okay? Did I mean to bring up the burr that strongly and that aggressive? Absolutely not. We all know that's not appropriate. It's not correct. I can't help if that came up within a couple passes, though. I purposely chose an extra fine 1200 grit DMT because it's a very fine stone, in my opinion, especially coming from someone who likes toothy working edges off of a 600. So jumping up to a 1200 and having that as my starting point, having that aggressive of a burr come up off of an extra fine stone was a little concerning, right? Because I wasn't even meaning to bring that up. I did like a couple passes, and then bam, it was in my face. That's why I said, I was like, ooh, I gotta be careful deburring this, because the burr is so big, inappropriately large, that if I go about it the wrong way, it's going to break off, which will result in it pulling parts of what would be my apex with it, aka microchipping, right? So I mentioned in the video, got past the 1200 extra fine stone with no microchipping. I was using a ceramic rod, a very soft one, to gently deburr the best I could. It took a really long time because, again, when you have a burr that's strong, these teeth that are just sticking up off the side of the edge, to not break those off is hard. I've never really dealt with a burr that large before. It didn't feel right. So then I went to the ultrafine stone from Spyderco, and that's where the microchipping happened. Again, I'm not sure why at that point it microchipped. All I know is that I built up a smaller burr on the ultrafine stone because it's a very fine stone. Built up a burr, and when I went to go deburr on the other side, that's when the microchipping occurred. That is when chunks. Now I'm saying chunks because that is what it is, but you have to think on a microscopic level. So microscopic chunks of the edge came off, and they broke off onto the stone. Like I could see with my eyeball, like little metal particles that were once part of my edge bevel that had broken off in front of my face. That's what happened. Okay? That's where the microchipping occurred. That tends to happen when your heat treat is poor, right? That's just what happens. The metal literally rips off, and instead of cleanly, not even breaking, almost like dissolving off, from good experiences I've had, it literally freaking breaks off, dude, and it pulls chunks with it, and they're gone. So to fix that, I'd have to go all the way back to the beginning and like reprofile that edge, which is a lot of work and a lot of time that I didn't have. So this edge has a bunch of microchips in it. That's why it hasn't been cutting properly at all. And the reason I'm still using it is because I'm trying to, people are saying heat treat, whatever. I don't like this steel for knives. I haven't had a good experience with it. But yes, the heat treat on this may be an issue because the burr shouldn't have been that large where it broke off like that, pulling chunks with it. And I wicked wish I could pick up the chunks, man. I really wish I could. And for those people saying like, oh, well, you can polish an edge and it can still be dull and be shit, I 100% understand that. I do. I genuinely do. I know that you could polish a turd, roll a turd in glitter, and whatever. I understand that. I wish I had that little microscope thingy that you can hook up to a camera and record the edge. All I can do is show you as close as humanly possible with the camera that I have, that this edge that I did is even, and this is the best I can do. I'm trying to show you that it's an even edge, and it's not wonky. It's not wonky at all. It just has microchipping because it chipped the fuck out during the sharpening, which is an example of poor heat treatment. And I'm not saying that, I am not saying that this item here 100% has a poor heat treat. I am saying it's a hypothesis that maybe it could occur sometimes, and maybe that's what happened. I'm not saying for sure. It's just an idea, right? Because we're trying to figure it out together. But here's the other side. And I just followed the bevel that it came with. Come on. I don't know the measurement. I should measure. But I followed the literal bevel that it came with. And the reason it's having so much trouble is because within this bevel, which I know you can't see because it's not a microscope, there are microchips, and I wicked wish I could pick up. Oh my God, I did. Hold on. Oh, don't lose it. You can see it. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm gonna try. Right there, under my pinky, bro. You can see one of them. I caught it for a dang second. Right there, look. You can see it when I move my pinky. Right there, there's a microchip. I just caught it for a second. It's gonna look like a little tiny dark spot. That's where a chunk of the blade is missing. Oh my God, I really hope that you can pause it and see it. It's so hard to pick up on this front-facing camera, man. But right back here, there's a good chunk missing, and then it's all through the edge. It's all through the edge. It was just coming off. So that's why this is not cutting through paper cleanly. It's not cutting at all, really, because there's something not quite right, okay? Man, I really hope that you guys saw that little black spot, because it's so hard to catch this stuff on camera when you don't have the little microscope thing. But there's the edge. It's the kind of edge where if this was a good hardness and well done and everything, it would perform really well, actually. It's unfortunate. This edge would do really nice. And for things, I'm trying to look around for something here, for things where you don't need precision and you don't need for it to be a razor blade, it would probably do fine. You know, going through like plastic maybe, stuff like that, where you don't need that bite and you're just kind of like pushing a sharpened wedge through a material. You know, like if you were on a farm and you were doing rope and cutting up apples or something, or stuff out of the garden, I feel like it would be okay. It's not sharp in today's age, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can't even go through cardboard or paper very well at all. It just can't. I'm really looking around here to see if I can find something to cut where I can show you that it'll go through things, but not the right way. I don't really have anything around here. I'm in a freaking warehouse thing. For Pete's sake. I have a bathroom. Yeah, I don't have anything. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of my point, is just that it microchips, and I talked to someone, and I think I have a hypothesis as to why it's microchipping so bad. I guess we'll just move forward. I don't have anything else to say. We'll just move forward and keep trying. So this will obviously have to be sharpened again because it's dull. It'll have to be sharpened again. And that's all I did with it today, was what you just saw in this video. That's all I've got. I'll see you guys soon. Go use your shit. Learn how to sharpen your knives. And I will see you on the next video. I love you so much, fam. Take care.